Wow, episode 11. Hello. If you're a new listener and you're starting at episode 11, hats off to you. Interesting move. If you're a returning listener and you're 11 episodes deep, welcome back. Wow. If you're enjoying it, and you must be if you're 11 episodes deep, why not help us grow the show by telling some people? Why not ring up all the people who were mean to you in high school and tell them what a great time you've been having listening to this podcast? That'll show them. Anyway, here's episode 11.
Hello and welcome once again to the Pottervision podcast, the podcast where every week Tom Lawrenson and myself, Lukas Kirkby, we read, analyse and talk about a chapter from the Harry Potter books. This week it's chapter 11, Quidditch. Tom, how the devil are you?
I am good, Mr. Kirkby. I've been keeping positive. I've been trying to be strong. I've been keeping busy. Working hard, being a good boy.
Yeah.
You know a story?
I'd love to hear a story.
I was at work on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
You know me, work in an office.
You do?
That's keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
Now, tell me if this sounds suspicious, right? Imagine you're me, right?
Oh, I do that often. I often lie in bed at night imagining I was you. What it would be to be Tom Lawrenson.
Oh, yeah. What's the first thing you'd do if you were me?
Oh, just look at your tattoos, but they're on my body. I'd never dare have a tattoo.
You could just look at my body.
No, it's nice to look at them yourself.
First person. Right, so imagine you're me, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
You're working away,
Yeah.
hard as brass, and then someone comes up to you and goes like this, "Hey, Tom, how about that big scratch on your car? When was that done? It looks nasty." "Wasn't me, mind. No, wasn't me. It's a big red scratch. I have a red car, but it wasn't me. You might see a scratch on my car and the exact point where it looks like I scratched your car,
Yeah.
but it wasn't me. I've had that scratch years. That scratch I got years ago. We were going to have it done and blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah." Really long, convoluted
yeah,
story.
yeah.
What would you think?
It was them.
Yeah.
I'd be suspicious.
You think,
Yeah.
this person has scratched my car
Yeah.
because going in too much,
Yeah.
like with the lie.
The lady doth protest too much.
Yes.
And was it a lady?
You'd be correct. So I go, right, I'm just gonna go have a look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Walk outside, go look at my car. Great big red scratch across
Whoa.
across the door. Yeah.
Yeah.
I go look at her car. Black mark exactly where, the exact same height. Right?
Yeah.
And I think, no CCTV.
Yeah.
No way of proving it.
Yeah.
So I think I'll try and get it out of her.
Yeah.
Right? So I go back upstairs. This is what I do.
Yeah.
She's pottering around.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Hey.
And so I go up to her and I point right in her face.
Yeah.
And I go, "That was you."
Yeah. Yeah.
And she starts screaming, saying it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, "It fucking was."
Yeah.
And she was like saying, "No, it wasn't, blah, 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 blah." And she was a 15-minute argument where she
Yeah.
was saying it wasn't. That was done years ago, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And at one point, she runs up to me with a phone going, talk to him. And I go, "Who?"
Yeah.
She goes, "It's my husband." And I was like, "What's that got to do with anything?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what did he say? Did he confirm that it was an old wound on the old car?
Thing is about me, Lucas, if you put a phone in my face and say, talk to him,
Yeah.
there's not a chance I'm picking up that phone.
Yeah.
I'm not calling the dentist on my own.
Yeah.
That's one of my mum's jobs.
You know, I know that. You know, if I say talk to him, you never do. And you really missed out because on your birthday last year, I tried to get Sir Patrick Stewart on the phone. He rang me, but he didn't want to talk to you.
You have enough trouble getting me to say my lines during our live shows.
That is true. That is true. I remember we were doing Pottervision 2 in Leeds and you were learning the lines on the way there.
So were you.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah.
How's your week been?
I'm trying to think of a story. The only one I've got, actually, and this is quite funny, it's a Harry Potter related story.
Yeah.
So part of me, I'm working in 2 schools at the minute, and one of them's a newish one. And part of that is being in a class, helping out, teaching assistant type job, right? And Harry Potter came up. Somebody mentioned Harry Potter, right? And this kid made me laugh. He goes, no, he goes, I've only ever seen one of those Harry Potter films. I've only ever seen one of them. And the kids were like, which one was it? And he goes, I don't know, he's flying around trying to get this gold ball. And I was like, that's every film. Every film he does that. We're still no closer to the truth.
I don't know, he was getting up to no good.
Getting up to no, doing them spells in this one, in this film. Doing them spells.
See the match last night? Oh, which one? I don't know. Ball players.
Grass. The match. So yeah, there's nothing too exciting happening this week, but just a little funny anecdote for you there.
Can I tell you
an
additional fact about the car scratch story?
Yes, please.
Which to me confirmed this person's guilt.
Guilt, yeah.
She was wearing, no joke, snakeskin boots.
You're joking.
Innocent people don't wear snakeskin boots.
Yeah.
Do they?
No, they don't. Do you know what? It's probably going to be the most boring episode of Columbo. Because and we don't even have to see it happen. Like, normally with Columbo, you see the murder at the beginning. We don't need to. We know it's we just want to see how he gets her. But yeah. But that's where you went wrong, you see, because Columbo doesn't point at them and go, "It was you."
I really thought I could. I think if someone pointed in my face and said it was you after, if you just told a lie and someone pointed in your face and said liar, I think I'd laugh.
Yeah. Or you'd admit. I think that would break me, if I'd lied, because she's sounded nervous when she was lying to you.
And I thought the gall of doing it in front of people as well.
Oh yeah,
I'd get it out of her. Mm-hmm. Alas, hope she doesn't listen to this podcast, because that's going to make the office very awkward.
Yeah, and I look forward to hearing about that next week.
Because I've told her I believe her.
There's always the chance it wasn't you.
Anyway,
Chapter 11.
Quidditch.
Are you ready for this week's rundown?
Give that rundown.
So, the first ever Quidditch match for Harry is coming up, and he's a bit nervous.
Yeah.
So he's revising with this book. Hermione's giving him Quidditch Through the Ages. Snape comes in, he's in a bad mood, he's got a limp for some reason. He confiscates the book and deducts 5 points from Gryffindor. Harry thinks, that's not fair, I'm going to go to the staff room and ask for it back. He opens the staff room door, and what does he see? There's Snape, there's Filch, Snape's got a big bleeding leg, and he mentions the 3-headed dog. Snape has something to do with that, Harry thinks. Hermione's a little bit sceptical. Anyway, the morning of the Quidditch match, he's a bit nervous, but he ends up getting ready for the Quidditch. Everything's happening, blah, blah, blah. He sees the snitch, he gets tackled, there's a foul, there's a penalty, all sorts of going on. But then suddenly, Harry starts losing control of his broom. Somebody is messing with it. Hermione gets those binoculars out. She notices Snape muttering under his breath. She thinks he is bewitching the broom. So she goes over, she, crawls through the stands. She knocks Quirrell over on the way, and then she sets fire to Snape's robes. Oh. And as Snape notices, suddenly the broom is back to normal. Very, very suspicious. But then Harry seems to have swallowed something. He dives down, and he spits out the snitch. He caught it with his mouth. Way, Gryffindor win. It's a wonderful victory for all involved. Then next thing, they're back at Hagrid's shack having a lovely cup of tea, and they're trying to get a bit more out of Hagrid. They think it was Snape. They think Snape has something to do with the package and all this kind of stuff. And Hagrid goes, no, you don't be saying that. That's between Dumbledore and Nicholas Flamel. And Harry goes, ah ha ha! Something to do with Nicholas Flamel, was it? And so they've got a new lead in their investigations.
Oh, he shouldn't have said that.
He shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that. So that was Quidditch.
What a chapter.
What a chapter. We thought it was going to be boring.
I did think it was going to be boring.
Yeah, and it was in places.
I was calling you up and saying, hey, we should just sack this whole thing off. I can't bear myself to read it. And a chapter on sport, no thank you.
But we powered through, and by God, aren't we glad we did?
Good chapter.
Good chapter, my boy.
Good chapter. So Harry's been put, Seeker of the Quidditch team.
Yeah.
Are you going to be a bit miffed off if you're any Gryffindor student who's not even been given a tryout?
100%, yeah. There are going to be people in year 5, year 6 who've been training for years. They've had extra sessions at home. They're doing everything they can. Peak physical fitness to be ousted by somebody who caught a remember-all.
I know. Oliver Wood coming out. Guys, we're not doing tryouts this year. Oh, really? Oh, why? You got someone else doing it? Someone who's done it before? No. We've got a lad. He's never played Quidditch before. But he was seen once on a broom catching something, and we're going to make him Seeker and give him a brand new broom.
You'd be absolutely fuming, wouldn't you?
Okay, that's fair. Yeah. Very
Nightmare. And as well, because you're thinking it's Harry Potter, he's in year 7, you know that he's going to be the Seeker for the next 7 years running, if he's just presumably going to get better and better. Yeah. So if you are an aspiring Gryffindor Seeker, give up now.
You haven't got a chance.
None of you are going to be Seekers because he's in year 7 and he's going to be Seeker till he leaves.
They haven't even got a B team. Do you know?
No.
They've got space and time and for a B team, but no.
They don't have one. I suppose they must have Seekers who, if Harry was injured.
You think he's got an understudy?
Yeah, an understudy. Just reading the lines of the...
That's what they call them, don't they?
Yeah, understudy. I do love that we come from the sporting background, so we can offer this insight with these key terms.
Sat there in his costume, raring to go. Maybe it was the understudy who was bewitching Harry.
Maybe it was the understudy, we don't know. Now, I want to talk about, in the first few lines, it mentioned that Hagrid is defrosting the broomsticks, right? And he's wearing a moleskin overcoat, rabbit fur gloves, and enormous beaverskin boots.
Yeah.
This man, who loves animals. He cares for them. He cries if an animal dies. He grieves over spiders that get killed. He's there in his rabbit fur gloves, his moleskin overcoat, his enormous beaverskin boots. He's got a leather handbag. He's got his Clark shoes on. My God, he's chewing a steak. For me, it doesn't match up with Hagrid's personality.
I think it exactly matches up with Hagrid's personality. Do you know why?
Go on.
Because, you might think... I love animals and all that. And true, I do love wizarding animals. Muggle animals, on the other hand. Those animals, rabbit, mole, beaver, those are Muggle animals.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not arsed.
I love that idea that he only respects magical creatures. Yeah. But then he has a dog called Fang.
So, that's a big dog. That doesn't seem like a natural dog, does it?
No, maybe it
Do they exist? Dogs that big?
He's called a bloodhound, I think, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe not.
It's like a mega bloodhound.
A mega bloodhound. But I wanted to tell you this story. The whole fur coats and stuff reminded me of a time that I had to once model some fur coats.
Yeah, no knickers.
No knickers. For someone who was selling them on eBay, and it was the woman who ran the drama group I was part of. And I think I was only about 12 or 13, but I had to model these fur coats, and it was awful. They were horrible, these things. They were real fur. And one of them was like a mink coat.
Yeah.
And it was fur, but you put it on like a jacket, and hanging from the things were its paws. Its paws were hanging at the front, and the hood was its head. And I had to put these things on and smile and have a picture taken.
You had to. Why did you have to? Why?
I was just asked to do it, and I was, a very, congenial person.
Sorry, what? That sounds awful.
Yeah.
So you heard it here first, guys.
Yeah.
Mr. Kirkby supports the sale of fur coats.
I was coerced.
And cruelty to animals.
No, I don't. I don't like anything like that. No,
but there's photos of you out there.
That's a weird thought.
Wearing mink coats.
as a 12-year-old boy.
Were they ladies, or was it a mink coat for a little boy?
I'm assuming it was for... I'm assuming it was for a lady. I don't know, but because I think they might have been her old one, but they might have been actually like costumes. Because obviously it was a drama group, so maybe they were like from the costume department.
Oh yeah, how many coats were there?
About 3 or 4, I reckon.
Oh
like,
yeah,
fur coats. But the first
maybe for like a production of 101 Dalmatians, where Cruella de Vil has 4 costume changes in this amateur production, yeah,
exactly.
And they need actual fur coats for that.
Exactly. Or the spin-off of 101 Minks. But yeah, so yeah, I just thought I'd tell you that random story.
I'm guessing you had a bit of guilt on your conscience, where you feel you have to vent by, bringing up your participation in the in the trade of illegal jackets.
Yeah, it's something that I've regretted ever since, and it haunts me to this day. But I thought I'd share it with you and our lovely listeners.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I tried to sell a piece of toast on eBay once.
Mental.
I think it was quite a popular thing at the time. I think there was like a newspaper that a piece of toast went on eBay for like 50 quid or something. Someone it was like the first person to, and then like loads of pieces of toast started appearing.
That's mental.
No one bought it, but I got about 100 messages of people sending funny little things in.
That's great. And I'm assuming you just did it as a laugh, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. But did you keep the toast just in case somebody wanted it?
I ate it.
You ate it and then you put it on for sale?
No, after it sold. Well, it didn't sell. I ate it, yeah. 7 days went by and I thought, do you know what, Toasty?
He's eating this mouldy old bit of toast.
Yeah. So, Harry is excited for his Quidditch match.
Yeah.
Hermione has lent him QTTA, Quidditch Through the Ages.
Yeah, great book. I've read this book.
Have you?
It's one of the 3 books that J.K. Rowling released as like a charity book. There's Quidditch Through the Ages, there's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and there's the fairy tale one, Tales of Beedle the Bard.
Well, what's the book about, the Quidditch one?
It's basically the history of Quidditch, so it's in about 7 or 8 chapters, and it first starts off with like basic broom sports, like ancient broom games that people used to play, and then it was like the first ever Quidditch match, and then it was like how the rules have changed over the years, and then
really?
like how Quidditch is played across the world and famous players and stuff like that.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's very good. It's a good little book. It was pretty good.
Then Snape comes marching over, looking for a reason to tell them off.
He's in a mood, yeah.
And I love this.
Yeah.
Very petty.
Very petty.
A man after my own heart. Everyone's got to have an enemy, don't they?
Yeah, everybody.
You've got to have an enemy.
You've got to.
And you'll find one, and Snape's just so happens to be an 11-year-old boy.
Mm-hmm. But do you know what? Fair dues to him.
No, if you're going to have like an enemy that you can easily get one over on, it might as well be a little boy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I always think.
Because little boys can do nothing.
No.
Yeah.
They are physically weak, mentally inept, open to, influence.
And it confused me because so Snape decides to confiscate this book.
Yeah.
But isn't this Hermione's book?
It is, but I think Harry was borrowing it. And,
well, Hermione was there.
I think Hermione was there, yeah, and he had it in his hands.
So it's Hermione's from the library, or Hermione's that she's purchased?
No. I assume she's borrowed it from the library.
Right, because no one raised that argument.
Yeah, nobody buys books.
He takes 5 points from Gryffindor.
Yep.
Who's keeping tally of the points?
Yeah, they must have a system.
That's a very easy way,
yeah,
of explaining things in this universe.
Yeah.
If there's any unanswered question, why does that happen? Magic.
They must have a system. But like we in the school have like an online thing which is called Sims.
I've played The Sims.
You've played The Sims, yeah. It's a bit like that, you make up the whole school and
kill them.
each child, you drown them. And, but you used to do a bit of stand-up about the Sims, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, it must somehow get totted up or what have you.
Yeah, and then Snape limps off.
Yeah.
And Ron says, they notice his limp, and Ron says, good, I hope it's really hurting him.
Yeah.
What a bitter little shit.
He is a bitter little shit. It's fun to say, and I believe that, Ron seems to get, these grudges against people for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
He hates half the school already. He's in year 7 and he hates Snape. He thinks Hermione's annoying. He can't stand Neville Longbottom. It's just
too much darkness in his heart.
Yeah.
So with the trio, we've now got a trio of the friends, Harry, Ron,
Yeah.
and Hermione, and they are working together. They are working well together, and I love to see it. Hermione's influence means that they're now like doing homework and stuff, and they're getting a bit more on top of it, which is great.
That's great, but on the other hand, it says Hermione is more relaxed about breaking the rules.
Yeah.
Horrendous. That is terrible. And it says Hermione was much more relaxed about breaking the rules, and she was much nicer for it. Oh, Hermione, isn't she much nicer now she shouts out in class? Isn't she so much nicer now she calls the teacher a pig? Isn't she so much nicer now she steals food from other people's plates? I love her now that she's not following the rules. Okay, fair enough, she's more fun. She's more fun now she breaks the rules. Or she's cooler now she breaks the rules. She's not nicer. She's turning into a monster, and it's because of Harry and Ron.
Oh, Hermione gave me a dead leg. How nice.
How lovely of her to join the other two in breaking rules.
It's that thing. I remember being a kid, and sometimes a naughty kid, they'd be placed near a good kid.
Yeah.
So the good kid would be a good influence on
Yeah,
them.
100%, yeah.
I was always the good kid.
Oh, yeah.
You might not think so because of my silly ways,
Yeah.
but I was the good kid. So like they'd be like a bad kid,
Yeah.
and their mum would love it if I hung out with them because they were like, "Oh, thank God he's not hanging around the normal twits."
Riff-raff, yeah.
Yeah, they're hanging around. But then I remember my mum thinking, "What are you hanging around with that toe rag for?"
That's the thing. It's the other thing, isn't it? Where and we'll get that a lot of times. Sometimes when you'll do that, you'll put them together, but then the other parent will go, "Why have you put them with him?" But because it can work the other way, where they actually become a bad influence on the good kid.
When I was living in Spain when I was a little kid, there was like 2 English kids that I used to knock about with, and my mum banned me from seeing either of them.
Wow.
Because they were both like crap. One of them was called Lewis, not Lewis Shaw.
No, not friend of the show, Lewis Shaw. Please, nobody think it's Lewis Shaw.
I've always had a friend called Lewis at some point in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one was real weird and bad.
Yeah.
Once his mum was sunbathing.
Oh, yeah.
And just like as a show of, I don't know, showing off.
Yeah.
He just grabbed hold of her boobs, like braless boobs, and just like shaking them.
And this was definitely not Lewis Shaw, friend of the show.
Not Lewis Shaw.
No.
But like, I remember and he was. I think his mum liked it that I hung out with him, but my mum was like, "Don't hang out with that little creep." Don't.
I'm just imagining, him being around at your house and your mum just hiding in the cupboard because she doesn't want him to mess with her boobs.
Bad kid. Have you ever been the good influence?
I'm not sure really. I can't really remember. I probably was, but then I used to find naughty kids fascinating.
Yeah.
If I was sat with a naughty kid, I'd never join in, but I think I'd find it funny what they did, or I think it'd be quite fun to get to know them a bit and find out what makes them tick.
If they were nice, sometimes knocking about with a naughty kid, if they were nice, it was funny because it was quite interesting, which is a big theme of this chapter, of breaking the rules.
Yeah.
They did not care about repercussions. Yeah, they saw straight through it that it's like meaningless.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, naughty kids. What kind of things would naughty kids do at your school?
I don't know. They'd throw things at people or slam doors in people's faces or things like that. But then actually, when you got to know them, they were nice. So they were naughty, but then they were also nice.
Yeah.
A nightmare for Father Christmas. Which list do we put these on? They're both naughty and nice. But yeah, like you'd get to know them and then you think, well, actually, they're naughty, but they're not bad people. They're just a bit cheeky.
Well, yeah, some of them, I'd say. When I think back to my high school, I'd say a lot of them were bad people and they should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
It's a fine line, isn't it, between being cheeky and being a bad
just things
kid.
I would never even think of doing. I was sat next to this one kid once in RE in year 8.
Oh, yeah.
And he hocked up a great big bit of phlegm, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
And then spat it at the ceiling.
Oh, yeah, that's horrendous.
At the ceiling. It hit the ceiling.
Yeah.
And it, like, some of it fell down.
Oh,
but some of it just dried up there. As some stalactite.
Some snotty stalactite.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's like there are some. It's funny how all of our like morality is different.
Yeah.
Like there's some things that you think is fine, even though it's naughty, like shouting out or you know, I don't know, giving someone a dead arm or something. But then for me, like spitting or littering is awful, and stealing as well. This is what Harry's about to do.
I can't, honestly, I cannot bear it.
Yeah.
I cannot bear spitting.
Yeah.
Right? Grown men. If you're a grown man listening to this podcast who spits, spit at yourself.
Spit at yourself. And we're not talking about, listen, we want to make this clear. We're not talking about spitting into the sink after you brush your teeth. We're not talking about that. We're talking about spitting in the streets. We're talking about spitting at children.
If you're the type of man who spits, go to your bathroom right now, look at yourself in the mirror and spit at it.
Yeah.
Because that's what you are. That's what you're doing to the world.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee, if you spit at yourself in the mirror and get eye contact, you're going to cry afterwards.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're making Mother Earth do. That's what you're making me do.
Yeah.
Never mind littering.
Spittering. We don't like
Disgusting.
it. We don't like it. But another one is stealing. and Harry, he tries to get his book back.
Yeah.
Right? He knocks on the door, right? No answer. And then he thinks, perhaps Snape left it in there.
I'll just go in.
I'll just go in and steal it back.
Can you imagine having the audacity to go into the teacher's staff room uninvited?
No, not at all.
Right? Harry's had 11 years in the Muggle world obeying the rules.
Yeah.
And he's come to Hogwarts and he's gone, you know what? New year, new me.
It is horrendous. Like, do you know what? I can forgive the sneaking about. I can forgive the tiffs with Malfoy. I can forgive flying about. But for me, stealing is really upset me listening to
but
this.
to be honest, it's made me realise as a grown man, do
Yeah.
you know what? Fair enough. Do it. You know? Because honesty gets you nowhere.
Yeah.
What does Harry Potter do in all these books? He breaks the rules consistently.
Yeah.
And what has he done? He's rewarded for it.
Yeah.
Everyone absolutely loves it. Anytime anyone breaks the rules, people are thrilled by it.
Yeah.
Can you name a Hogwarts student who plays by the rules? No, because they're not featured because it's not interesting.
No.
If you want to get your name out there, start breaking the rules.
Do you know what? I accept the point, but I don't have to like it.
Lucas, good boys get nowhere. Because
Yeah.
think back in high school, in all the cheeky scamps who ruin the lesson.
Yeah.
Teachers loved them.
They do, yeah.
They'd be buzzing off them. They'd be
Yeah.
laughing. And then eventually they have to give them a detention or whatever. But I mean, pro for the teacher because they get to spend another hour with them alone.
Maybe that's it, yeah. Maybe they love them that much that they hey, I want to see this guy for an hour after school.
Yeah. But but I don't know.
Oh, my goodness. But
that's actually, let me add one more point.
Please do.
I can think back to memories when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Of when I played by the rules.
Yeah.
Like, too closely. Right. I was living in Spain at a Spanish birthday party, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hosted at a bar. This is Spain.
Yeah.
Places are weird.
But buenos cumpleaños.
Why not have people drinking around a birthday party?
Yeah.
Yeah. And birthday party being held. This was around December.
Yeah.
And everyone went outside to play. Weather wasn't that great. Load of mud. I stood in a load of mud.
How old are you?
We're talking about 8 years old.
Wow. Okay, carry on.
Right. I was like, everyone had muddy shoes, yeah?
Yeah.
Everyone had really muddy shoes. Mm-hmm. And then the main event was there because around for this Christmas birthday, there was a surprise visit from Father Christmas.
Whoa!
Yeah. Remember at the time I knew that's bullshit. Ain't no Father Christmas.
What?
It's a lie! Right?
Yeah.
But me, being such a weird little neurotic weirdo...
Oh, yeah.
was outside. Everyone had muddy shoes. They all ran in. I went, I can't go inside with muddy shoes. You don't take muddy shoes inside.
Yeah.
So I then spent the next 45 minutes trying to get all the mud off my shoes.
Yeah.
Missed Father Christmas completely.
You're joking.
Yeah.
But at that time, You didn't care. You knew he wasn't real.
No, because he was giving out gifts.
Oh, right.
Missed the gift completely. So I'd put on this rule of no muddy shoes inside.
Yeah.
Because that's a rule that you'd think is a rule.
Yeah, everywhere.
Maybe not in a bar. I mean, they just take it as it is.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
You missed out. What were the gifts?
Tat.
Christmas tats.
But that was a sad birthday party. Have you ever been to a bad birthday party?
Not that I can remember.
One where someone's made a scene. Have you had a bad birthday?
Have I? I can't remember really.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, thank you. Put on the spot here. I honestly can't remember. Oh, I remember somebody's birthday once where we got drunk at a pub. It was somebody's 18th, and other people went to this other pub called the Bee. This was in Abergele, where they're filming I'm a Celeb at the minute. And one pub was shut, and the next pub was having a lock-in.
Yeah.
And they weren't letting anybody else in. And me and my mate Jamie were there, and we were trying to get in, but we couldn't, right?
Yeah.
And when I get drunk, I like to tell him things to do, like snake in the ear, like funny ideas.
Yeah. Griever worm tongue.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So I go, I said, hey, we went round the back. I said, hey, I bet you can't jump over that fence.
Oh, my God.
Right, and we're drunk, aren't we?
You saying that to Jamie?
I'm saying that to Jamie, yeah.
And what's he saying?
He says, I bet I can't.
No, yeah.
So he takes a running jump, right? He clears the fence.
Right.
But he catches his shoe on the way over, right? Ooh. He falls, right? I hear a splat, right?
Oh! His skull has exploded.
Yeah. No. Next thing I know, right, the bouncer is opening the gate, right? He's flat on the floor, like something out of Home Alone, right? And he's got a graze on his forehead, he's got a graze on his chin, and his nose is bent to the left, sniffing his ear, right? And me and him had to go to hospital. So a taxi driver goes, don't worry, I'll take you to hospital. So we get in the taxi, he takes us, then he charges us, which we thought he was being charitable. He wasn't. And then, so then we had to wait about 6 hours to be seen. And then there was a guy who scared the nurse. We were all in this waiting room, and everyone had some, because it was Saturday night. Everyone was in there.
Saturday night, Saturday. I've grazed my chin.
Saturday night.
And how old are you?
Jumped over a gate, 18. And there was this drunk guy, and everyone was there for like drunk accident reasons, because it was Saturday night. Right. And this one guy was like mental. He jumped.
In Abergele?
Oh, yeah, in Abergele, yeah. He'd been thrown through a window, apparently, and he had, like, glass in his head. Yeah. And he really scared a nurse, because he was just sat there. And as a nurse walked past, he just went, I've been here 3 hours, and the nurses are doing fuck all, and the nurse, like, ran off scared.
God, I'd be run off scared. So, where were you staying that night?
Well, I think we were hoping to get a lift back or whatever, but my mum came to pick us up at about 7 a.m.
And what did she say?
She was just like, boys will be boys. But then I had to take him back to his mum, who didn't know what had happened, and he looked in absolute state. Yeah. So I was like, well, I'll go in first. And I said...
Why are you going in at all?
Because I don't want the first thing for her to see is Jamie's squashed face. So I said, before you see him...
Yeah.
He's all right.
He's all right.
He's all right. And then she was like, okay. And
by the way... would you like it if he looked like a melon?
I would, yeah.
He's got the kind of a look of a 3-month-old jack-o'-lantern. Would you like that? Yes.
Have you ever dropped an egg?
Then you're in luck. Enter Jamie. Hooray!
The son I've always wanted.
And did his face heal?
Yeah, it did. He was all right. Yeah, it took a while. mind.
And what did your dad say?
I don't think he had any comments on the incident.
No comment. Oh.
No,
said the Prime Minister. But what did your sister think?
Do you know what? I think she was amused, if not intrigued. And luckily, I have no more immediate family members to discuss their response of. But yeah. So that was maybe a birthday party that was a bit interesting.
What's the moral of that story?
Moral of the story is, if I'm drunk, don't listen to me. I come up with silly ideas.
You've got to be pretty, fun-loving or easygoing or easily influenced is the expression I'm looking for, to listen to the mole man.
Yeah. That's Jamie.
Say, jump. No, you're the mole man.
Oh, yeah. I'm the mole man, but he's the one who listens to the mole man.
Listen to the mole man tell him to jump over a fence.
Yeah. But look, I was only mole guy to people who didn't really know me. That was the outer
The
image.
undercover mole.
The undercover mole. So in this chapter, back to the story. He opens the door to the staff room, right? And the first few lines of this paragraph nearly made me shut the book. Because I did not want to read on, right? He opens the staff room door, right? It says here, a horrible scene met his eyes. Snape and Filch were inside, alone. Snape was holding his robes above his knees. I thought, what the bloody hell is going on in this staff room? But thank goodness, it was just a bloody leg.
What is Harry thinking? Harry walks into the staff room.
Yeah.
Snape is lifting his robes above his waist and to give Filch a look.
Filch is kneeling down and Snape is sat down.
They didn't put that in the film, did they?
Lifting up his robes. Regardless of what's going on, the fact that Snape has no trousers underneath those robes is fantastic.
To reveal his legs were bloody and mangled.
All three of them.
Come on, this is a family show. But where do Filch's duties end?
I love that Filch is trained in first aid.
Is it? Because it kind of seems like, you know, right. Filch, once you are done cleaning out the toilets, please go bandage Snape's legs. What?
Excuse me, that's not in the job description.
Can you not go to the infirmary? No, you must do it. Why me?
I'm assuming that JK is making it look as dodgy as possible. So who's the other person they don't like? Filch. Let's put them together, make it look a bit dodge.
Yeah.
And have him attend to Snape.
But that's what you get for breaking the rules. So I just said a moment ago, why not break the rules?
Why not?
But there are consequences. If you can live with the consequences of being scarred for life...
The trauma of having seen Snape's mangled, bare, bloody legs.
And this isn't Alan Rickman Snape. This is the book Snape.
Yeah.
And JK said he's not fit.
He is not at all.
He's not sexy.
Yeah, you do not want to see those bare legs. I'm assuming they're hairy.
Now mangled.
Mangled, grey.
That's the word she used, mangled.
Mangled. Like they've been squeezed through 2 cylinders.
Excuse me, I've got a Quidditch match soon. No wonder he can't eat.
Well, exactly, because the next morning, right, Seamus Finnegan is pouring ketchup onto his sausages. No, it's just giving that image of Snape's legs as he squirts the tomato ketchup on these 2 sausages.
Gnawing at them, biting them, licking them.
Oh, stop.
Harry, eat something.
No, thank you.
I don't think I can.
Yeah. My goodness, what a thing to see.
So they go out into the Quidditch field.
Yeah.
Holding up a sign that says Potter for president.
What?
President of what?
What? Yeah. Why not go Potter?
No. Look,
Potter to win.
What's the president in the wizarding world? President of the USA.
I think so, yeah.
Potter can end this war in Iraq.
Who would the president have been? It would have been either...
Bill Clinton, maybe.
It'd have been Bill, yeah, or...
Was that in 91?
91, or HW, George Bush Senior.
Yeah.
Look, we don't want HW.
Potter
we want
can
HP. Get him in the White House.
Madam Hooch is there. She's reffing the match.
Fair enough, yeah.
Bit of trivia. I thought, why not add in a bit of trivia for the pod? In the film, she's played by, the mum from My Family.
Yeah, Zoe Wanamaker, yeah.
That's a bit of trivia.
Yeah.
She didn't reappear, did she?
No, she was only in the first film, wasn't she?
She's in the first film. Do you know why?
Why?
She wanted more money. They said no.
Fair enough.
That is a common thing for a lot of the films of people
Yeah.
not reappearing. The Dursleys don't appear in a few films,
Yeah.
because the actors wanted more money, and the studio said no.
Right, you're not in the film.
Yeah.
Well, because they've probably gone into that thinking, look, you can't have Harry Potter without Vernon Dursley. Apparently you can. Apparently you can.
You can. I thought that was like yin and yang, Vernon and Harry, but no.
It'll be interesting to see, like, reading through how much Madam Hooch features in the rest of the books.
Yeah, that will be actually.
Yeah, and stuff like that. Because I know we talked about Peeves last week or the week before, and he is quite a heavily featured character. So yeah, quite fascinating.
Lee Jordan is commentating,
Perfect choice, I reckon.
and he's not following the rules,
No.
is he?
He's commenting on the Quidditch player's appearance.
Yeah, he's horny.
He's horny. And, you know, I'm glad McGonagall's there, because who knows what he would be saying if she wasn't. You know, I'm glad she's there. But I wanted to bring this up because I think it's lovely that we've got mixed genders in the Quidditch team, because it is a sport, I reckon, that would lend itself to being an equal.
Why is that lovely?
I just think it's nice.
Yeah?
In the story, we've just not got all men in.
I know why you
playing
think
Quidditch.
it's nice. Imagine in the showers afterwards.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Oh no, I'm not. That's put a bad taste in my mouth that you'd suggest that.
Come on, this is a family show.
Is it?
I assume most people listen to this are sat around with their grandkids.
Yeah, you know, we like to keep up to date with you know how many people are listening, and we've got all the data of when they listen, and it's always there's a massive spike Sunday at 5 p.m. and that's because we know everyone sits around the dinner table, has a lovely Sunday roast with the Pottervision podcast.
It's
in the
family time,
background.
yeah.
And if you're listening, you've had too many roasties, leave one for Grandad.
If you're listening to this on a Sunday eating a roast, take a picture of you and your family eating the roast, listening to the pod. If you do that, we'll send you a free keyring.
Yeah, we 100% will. Send us a picture of you and your family listening. Give us your address. We will send you a free
Pottervision keyring.
That's a promise.
That is a Pottervision sealed promise. Hagrid arrives late.
Right, Hagrid. How does this man's brain work, right? He's got to be there to support Harry. He's got to be there to watch him. He's the one that delivered Harry to the Dursleys. He told him he was a wizard. He bought him all his magic stuff. Harry comes round for cups of tea on a regular basis. And he knows that Quidditch is best watched from the stands. Mm-hmm. But in his head he goes, no, I won't support Harry. I'll watch from my hut.
I'll watch from me bed.
I'll watch from my bed out the window. And then 2 minutes into the match... Yeah, I better get back to the stands. This isn't good.
I don't know why I thought that'd be a good idea.
I can't see a bloody thing. The curtains are in the way.
I thought I'd be able to sit in my bed with a bottle of brandy, watch Harry. Alas, it's not working. Better get over. Where are my rabbit underpants?
Yeah, Hagrid is just... Where is his logic at any point in this book?
Yeah.
But there's a lot going on. It's exciting, actually, this match. You know, it goes one way, it goes the other. There's a nasty foul.
Oh!
Harry's after the snitch, but he gets blocked. Penalty, all that kind of stuff.
A lovely moment.
Yeah.
A lovely bit of writing I loved. When Angelina scored... Harry did a couple of loop-the-loops, and it says, to let out his feelings.
Yeah. So, you know, if you're listening and you're somebody who finds it hard to say how you feel or let things off your chest or tell somebody what's going on inside, do some loop-the-loops.
Do a backflip. Harry, your team's just scored. How do you feel? How do I feel? Woo, woo. Does that answer your question? No.
Yeah, it's like, why does he not just, like, punch the air like a normal human being?
So he's floating around, and the aim of this, he's staying back because he's aiming on catching the snitch.
Yeah.
Now, the snitch, I've been thinking about this, is a very popular Harry Potter tattoo.
Yes, yeah.
Can you think of any other ones?
I reckon people like the Deathly Hallows
Very popular.
symbol people
Yeah,
like
very
that.
popular.
Maybe the houses, Hogwarts house.
Yeah,
crest.
I've seen that emblem.
Yeah.
I've seen a few dobbies out there, which is a hideous one to have.
Yeah.
A fun thing for listeners to do is Google something wizarding, like Dobby, and then put in tattoo, and then go on Google Images, and you'll find some horrific goblins on people's legs. But I wanted to ask you, if you had to get a Harry Potter tattoo, what would you get?
Can I choose where it goes and stuff like that?
Yeah, but it can't be tiny.
No.
You can't just say, "Oh, I'll have a tiny snitch on my ankle," or like on the
like the guy from Series of Unfortunate Events. I think I would get maybe something like the Deathly Hallows thing, where people wouldn't know it was Harry Potter.
That's the most. I feel like everyone knows what that is, don't they?
Not everyone. Well, I don't know. I'd get maybe I'd get forks on my left bum cheek.
Forks.
Yeah, forks.
What's forks?
The phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd get him. It's like like a creature that looks a bit mystical.
On your left bum cheek.
Yeah, the left one. Yeah, and on the right, the sword of Gryffindor. What would you have then?
What would I have? I'd probably have Harry Potter specs around my eyes.
I would love you to have that. It would put our show into a nightmare situation.
People come up to me, "Do you like Harry Potter?" I go, "No."
Nope. Not at all. In fact, I hate it. I actively dislike Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Now, we talk about the snitch. It's very small. It flies around.
Yeah.
It glints. It glitters. At one point, Harry thinks he sees the snitch, but it's actually just a glimmer of one of Fred and George's gold wristwatches. Right, number one, my first thing with this is, get rid of anything gold, right? If you've got gold wristwatches, rings, anything like that, and you're playing Quidditch, bin them, get rid of them. They're only going to serve as a distraction, right? My second thing, why have Fred and George Weasley got gold wristwatches? No wonder they're poor. They're spending money on... Ron's got about 400 of these chocolate frogs that he's collecting. Fred and George have golden wristwatches. No wonder they can't afford anything else.
Do you know what I think they're thinking?
Yeah.
Watches retain value.
Yeah.
Right?
It's an investment.
They're thinking, do you know what? That'll retain value. Do you know
Yeah.
what's a waste of money? Clothes for my son.
Yeah, they're only going to buy stuff that they're going to...
What a waste of money.
going to pawn off once they graduate.
Yeah. Then, unfortunately... Oh, actually, what I was thinking... Oh, actually, we get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Harry's broomstick...
Yeah.
begins to act unusual.
Yeah.
So it's being thrown around.
Yeah.
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 Vigorously, it's trying to expel Harry from the broom.
Yeah.
Hagrid says, "Oh, nothing can interfere with a broomstick like that. Only dark magic." Only dark magic.
Yeah.
What about a gust of wind?
Oh, yeah. he didn't think of that, did he? Or physical objects.
Yeah.
Walls.
Like you could be shooting wind at him or something.
Yeah, bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah, only dark magic could be able to do anything like that.
That's only dark magic. Like a dark pistol.
Yeah, dark magic, something like that, you know. Only somebody who knows dark magic. And at that point, Hermione snatches his binoculars. She looks over to the stands and she sees Snape muttering to himself. Right? She thinks it's him. He's doing a jinx.
It's obviously him.
It's obviously him, but he could be doing anything. What do you reckon he's doing up there? Why is he muttering to himself?
Watch this. So imagine I'm Snape.
Yeah.
She can't hear him. He's muttering.
Yeah.
What if he's going, "Oh my God, look at Harry Potter." His just lips are moving. He's talking to himself.
Yeah.
When did it become a crime?
Yeah.
To start, to talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Hermione's been hanging around with these suspicious lunatics.
Yep.
And she's like, "Oh my God, they're right. Snape is out of his mind.
Yeah.
It's definitely him." Right. She starts having a breakdown. So she runs over.
Yeah.
She knocks Professor Quirrell.
Yeah.
Head first into the row in front.
Yeah.
What force is she running at?
She's only Diddy as well. She's an 11-year-old kid.
Right?
Yeah.
That is mental.
Yeah.
So that's how crazy she is. Then
Yeah.
she thinks there's only one way to stop this man from doing this.
Only one way.
There's only one way. Set him on fire.
But it takes him a long time to notice. He's on fire for 30 seconds.
Right. Pretend you're doing a little hex on someone, yeah?
Right, I'll be Snape doing what I think he's doing, muttering.
No, just do
It's
a hex.
times tables.
Pretend you are doing a hex.
All right.
Well, a times table hex.
All right, 1 times 10 is 10. 2 times 10 is 20.
Professor Snape.
What?
Easy.
Hey, that worked, didn't it? Can't even remember was I on 4 times? Was I on 5 times 10? I don't know.
I know. There's only one way to stop him talking. That's killing him with fire.
Mental. Not even, excuse me, Dumbledore, McGonagall. Snape's doing something. I'm telling it, it has to be stopped.
I have to set this man alight.
But I love that he doesn't notice for 30 seconds. It reminds me of that, that meme of the dog in the house.
Yeah.
When the fire's...
This is fine.
This is everything. This is fine, yeah.
I don't know who Hermione thinks she is, because she's taken a leaf too much out of these boys' book.
Yeah.
She's become judge, jury, and executioner.
Yeah.
Right? Harry's broom is acting funny.
Yeah.
It's definitely Professor Snape.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop him now.
Wow. Yeah.
Not your responsibility.
No. And they're convinced it's Snape. They're convinced Snape is up to something. At one point, Harry says, I bet my broomstick that Snape let that troll loose in the dungeon.
What evidence have they got?
Yeah. But you know what? I'm going to hold him to that. I've made a note that he said that. And if we find out later in the book that it was somebody else, I'm going to go and get it off him. You said you'd bet your broomstick, and here we go, I'm taking it off you.
I take that bet, Harry Potter. They have got no... Oh, right, okay. So Harry's evidence that Snape is trying to kill him is the day before or whatever...
Yeah.
Harry got a glimpse of Snape's legs.
Yep.
I can't let Harry tell anyone about my mangled legs.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill him.
Yeah, exactly. It's mad, isn't it? But then I do like the we're building up, and I think this is a nice way that the book's been put together, because there's been kind of like 3 major incidents so far that have slowly been building up. So the first time they just happen upon a dog and run off. The second time they're actually in a physical fight with a troll. But this is the first time that somebody is actively trying to kill Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does feel like a nice escalation in like what's going on.
Yeah, spoilers, it is Quirrell, but why does Quirrell want to kill Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Does he want him dead?
I don't know really.
Why does he want him dead?
I don't understand that. Yeah.
If you know why he wants him dead, write in.
Please let us know. But also, like, Ron and Hagrid and everybody else are watching Harry, right? There's at least a 30-second gap between when she knocks Quirrell over and her setting fire to Snape's robes. Somebody must have noticed, actually, Harry's broom stopped being daft before you even set fire to...
She's not noticing, though.
Surely Ron is. They must be watching Snape.
Yeah, but what are they going to contact Hermione to tell that information? Send an owl?
No, I mean afterwards.
Oh, right.
Like, after the event. Because then they're like, oh, it was Snape. Snape definitely did it. Is that one actually? His broom stopped when Quirrell fell over.
No, maybe that bit of time was shorter than you think. 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Fine.
Again, write in. We just want people to write in. We just want people to write in to us. We're lonely.
Right. Then Harry stumbles to the floor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's caught. He catches the snitch with his mouth.
He does.
Slut.
Yeah, it's... And Marcus Flint, the Slytherin captain, is furious. And I think, well, he might have a point. If we played rounders or cricket and somebody caught the ball with the gob, would that be allowed? Is that allowed in those sports?
If you're playing football and you sucked up the ball with your lips and then ran it to the other side of the pitch,
blew it into the net. But hey, we've won. No, hang on a minute. This does actually need checking.
If you put the ball up your shirt and did a big roly-poly the other way, would you be out?
Yeah, we need it to be checked. It to be checked. But they win. They win the match. Everybody's happy. And then they're back for a cup of tea round Hagrid's, which I think it's a bit unprofessional. That Hagrid constantly has these 3 year sevens round for a cup of tea. As far as we know, he's not friends with any other student. He's the caretaker. He's the keeper of the keys at Hogwarts. He doesn't have anybody else round for a cup of tea. Just these 3 year sevens.
It's so funny because he doesn't even go. Harry doesn't even go and celebrate in the Gryffindor common room.
No.
Nah. The bloke who couldn't be asked to watch the beginning of the match
Could go around to his.
Oi, you wouldn't mind coming back to mine, would you? I want to celebrate. I'm going to get in bed. And you guys can make me a cup of tea and talk me to sleep.
Yeah, and I'll watch you celebrate with me binoculars. But we're in the shop with you, Hagrid. I know.
Yeah.
And they want to get a bit of information out of him. He doesn't believe that Snape did it.
And they start taking advantage
Yeah.
of a dim-witted man.
They do. They 100% take advantage of the fact that Hagrid is daft.
He'll just, because he's too honest, and they'll just let him say anything. These kids are liars.
Yeah.
They lie about everything.
Yeah.
They break rules, they lie. Harry's always lying. In every film,
Yeah.
Harry lies, his scar will hurt, and he won't
Yeah.
tell anyone about it.
Yeah.
You're a liar, Harry Potter.
Yeah. You lie. Nosy, longy, longy. But Hagrid, right, it's not as if they trick him into giving information.
Yeah.
It's not as if they go, oh, you know, was it Professor Flitwick? And his eye twitches. And they go, it was Professor Flitwick, because your nose twitched. Hagrid just randomly goes, well, that information's between Dumbledore and Nicholas Flamel.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? Nicholas Flamel? Shouldn't have said that. I think that's mad, you know.
To volunteer that information.
Yeah, it's not as if they've asked him about it and he's caved under the pressure.
Yeah, no.
He's volunteered that information. And, you know, Harry, to my knowledge, is the only 11...
He probably wants him to find out, doesn't it? Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe it's all part of Dumbledore's master plan.
Yeah, like reverse psychology.
Yeah.
Yeah, of trying to keep it a secret, but then not doing. I don't know. But, and Harry being the only 11-year-old I've ever known to say, aha!
But that's another point, actually.
Yeah.
And everyone's always going on about what a great wizard Dumbledore is. Dumbledore is the greatest wizard of all time.
Yeah.
So many bad things happen at Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Under his supervision.
Yeah.
And only for the heroism of these 3 students.
Yeah.
Is anything ever done.
Yeah.
If they weren't there, the school would be fucked.
I know. But it was like you said, why doesn't he keep it in his office, this package?
On his person.
On his person, in his pocket.
I can't trust myself not to use it.
Because his...
What does it do again, the Philosopher's Stone?
I think it just makes you live forever. But his... It's just mad. But he's set traps that 3 students in first year can get through.
Yeah.
Keep it yourself. And just zap anybody who tries to snatch it.
What's Quirrell going to do? Come up to him and go give him one of them hugs and try and get it off him?
I'd love to see that. Just the awkwardness
Just
of
Quirrell that's sat next to him. Accio Philosopher's Stone?
Hey! I'd love it if that worked. Imagine that.
Why didn't he just do a bit of that?
Do
You know, in the first film, he's got it in his pocket.
Yeah.
Give me the stone. Liar. Accio Philosopher's Stone. Oh.
Yeah.
Another last comment.
Yes, please.
Snitches, we find out 7 books later, whatever, have got sense memories, touch memories, don't they?
Wow, yeah.
So, in the Deathly Hallows, he's gifted this same snitch.
Yes.
And only until, because we caught it with his mouth.
Yes, he did, yeah.
The message is revealed.
Yeah.
I watched the film the other day, and in the film, he just puts it to his lips. Yeah, he just puts it to his lips, and then the message is revealed.
Yeah.
If that was me, and I'm alone, and I thought that idea,
yeah.
I'm not going lips first, I'm licking that bad boy.
Shoving it in my mouth, wiggling it around a bit, gargling it a bit. I'd do anything I could to get that baby open.
Like a little gobstopper. Right.
Yes.
How many
Yeah.
golden snitches covered in spit are you giving this chapter?
Do you know what? We thought it was going to be boring. It was a bit boring for me. And I don't know if it's just because we're getting into it a bit more. We've done 11 episodes that I'm feeling a little bit harsh.
Yeah.
But for me, this wasn't the best chapter. There's a few interesting bits, but yeah, I don't like hearing about a sporting match. But a few things happened, but I'm going to be harsh, I think. I'm going to give it 2 golden snitches out of 5.
2 golden snitches covered in what?
Spit.
Out of 5, thank you.
Yeah. How about you?
Right, so now this chapter, we both went in negative, but I've seen the positive. There's a lot of things I loved about this chapter. We've got friendship, yeah? None of this Hermione hate now.
Yeah.
They're all influencing each other. Good and bad, doesn't matter. They're all coming out of the shells
Yeah.
and getting to know themselves more as people and developing. Really loved it. We got the lesson of not playing by the rules. I think a lot of people, kids, adults, should take that message on themselves and stop playing by the rules.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, no one's going to help you. No one's going to be nice to you.
Yeah.
Take as many sick days as you can.
Yeah.
They're your sick days. You can have like 4 a year. Take them.
Take them. We should be in work right now, but we're not. We're doing this.
Right? That lesson. The kids, they're, they're very imaginative. They're wrong about all these things. They're starting fires. They're trying to kill people. It's silly. They're getting carried away. I love it. Harry's catching balls in his mouth. Why not? I'm giving this chapter 4 golden snitches covered in spit out of 5.
Woohoo! Very good. Very good.
Right.
Yes.
Now,
Oof.
are you ready for my new segment, my popular segment, my astounding segment, Quiz? Quiz, quizzicky, quiz, quizzicky, quiz, 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 crew. Gonna ask you some questions, how well will you do? Quiz, quizzicky, quiz, quizzicky, quiz, 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 crew. Gonna ask you about Harry Potter, Lucas, how well will you do?
I'll blow you the snitch.
Right.
Yes.
Question number 1.
Okay.
What month does this chapter take place?
November.
Ding, 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 ding. Correct.
Thank you.
Question number 2.
Yeah.
What is Hagrid wearing?
Oh, he's got. I've got to get these right. He's got a moleskin overcoat,
Very good.
rabbit fur gloves,
Excellent.
and great big beaver skin boots.
Perfect.
Yeah. Thank you.
He knows his stuff. Right. What year was the Quidditch World Cup match that had 700 fouls?
That would have been in 1473.
He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Right. What colour is Madame Hooch's whistle?
I know this because it reminded me of the question I got wrong last week about the gold plates. I think her whistle was silver.
Yes! Right.
Oh, this is exciting. Is this for the win?
No.
Well, how many? Oh, all right, keep going. Number 5.
Who takes the quaffle immediately at the beginning of the match?
Angelina Johnson.
Correct.
Oh, this is exciting.
Question 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who is the Slytherin Seeker?
That is, the Slytherin Seeker is Terence Higgs.
My boy, you've gone and done it!
Yes! I think this is the 3rd victory.
You win! You win the chocolate factory.
What?
Right, now for your prize, put it there.
Hey, a good old handshake.
He wins the handshake.
Yeah.
Right?
Very good.
Now, the next prize,
Yeah.
the quiz, I'm going to tease it here now.
Yeah.
You're going to win a dance.
A dance! Oh, I'd love to have a dance with you. I'm going to revise extra hard next week.
That's the prize. You're going to win a dance to any song, 25 seconds of your choosing.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
25 seconds of a dance. Which, as you know, listeners, for me will be a very long time. That has been this week's segment, Quiz.
Quiz,
Quizzicky, quiz, quizzicky, quiz, crew. Gonna ask you some questions, how well will you do? Quiz, quizzicky, quiz, quiz, crew. Gonna ask you about Harry Potter, Lucas, how well will you do?
Got 6 out of 6. Hey.
Pottervision.
Now it's time for our latest segment, Hedwig's Droppings. We're not referring to owl poo, we're not referring to plarpins, we mean the messages you send in when we refer to Hedwig's Droppings.
Hey, he's keeping the song,
For at least another week. Now then, we've had a load of messages in this week for Hedwig's Droppings, so let's get to it. What have people been sending us this week? Well, first of all, we've had a very lovely message from Catherine Jackman, a friend of mine. She says, I love your Potter podcast so much that I'm going to go back and reread the books. So it's inspired somebody to read those lovely books. And Catherine's recently started a new job in Preston, so good luck in your new job, Catherine.
Good luck, Catherine!
Now, the next message we've had is from Twitter, and this is from Kevin Caswell-Jones.
KCJ himself.
KCJ, a comedy friend. Now, he says, how would an average parents' evening at Hogwarts pan out?
What have you been thinking?
See, I don't know, I always imagine the teachers, I can't imagine Snape giving feedback to a teacher, to a parent.
Why not?
Well, the report was very good. Effort, behaviour, very good. Homework, adequate. Goodbye.
Do you not think though that he'd be the opposite of this? Your child is the poorest excuse for a child.
No, I think he's a pussy. I think to the kids he's like big badass, but as soon as he's with another adult, he'd be like, they're very good. Just kissing up to the parents.
Yeah, it'd be hard. I don't know. Imagining all the parents getting on the train.
Yeah, it's got to be exactly the same, hasn't it? They all get on platform 9 3/4. Hey, it's parents' evening. It's parents' evening. That 4-hour train journey. Just Hagrid taking them on the boat. Oh, I hope my son's been good this term. Right, we're nearly there. Just wait in the corridor with the ghosts. You'll be let in a minute.
I know, yeah. And then you'd be so disappointed once you get there. Oh my God, so magical. Yeah. Especially if you're not from a wizarding family. Yeah, bloody hell, they're not just taking the piss, they haven't just kidnapped my daughter. And then, say, if your kid's not that remarkable. Yeah, they're fine, yeah. I mean...
doing well.
They're up to standard. They're not exceeding expectations, nor are they, very poor. Yeah. So, carry on.
Next train's in about 3 hours. If you want to look around, you can. All right, we will do.
Watch out for Peeves. He shows his arse.
But then, this is interesting because kids who have Muggle parents, are they allowed to come to parents?
That's what I meant, yeah, that's what I was imagining.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. That would be very strange, wouldn't it? Because I suppose Muggles aren't supposed to know about the wizarding world, but then obviously Muggle parents do, like Hermione's parents must know about the wizarding world.
Yeah, they're allowed in, they're allowed to walk about.
Yeah. I don't know, are they just sworn to secrecy? Can they just not tell? Because how are they going if they're going to, they meet, their friends and they're at a meal. How's Hermione doing at her new school? Yeah, well, good. Where does she go?
It's very easy to keep a secret. If you're an adult, and most people know this, you don't speak to that many people. Who's got that many friends, really?
What, 2?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Maybe you're right.
And also, you'll find that your friends aren't that interested in your child.
That's true.
So, okay then, tell you what, you're the child of you're the parent of a wizarding child, yeah?
Yeah, all right.
Muggle-born.
All right.
How's old Hermione?
Yeah, very well. She's good. She's been doing well at school.
School? What school's this again?
St. Dunstan's.
Where's that?
Edinburgh.
Hang on. Is this a normal school?
Boarding school.
Why is it a boarding school? You don't make enough to send us to boarding school. What's going on there? Is it a scholarship?
It's a scheme.
I doubt it. She's not that remarkable.
Oh,
she's a wizard, isn't she?
I have to leave. Yeah, you're
no
right.
one's going to dig that deep. It's going to go more like this. How's old Hermione?
Yeah, she's very well.
Nice one. Can I tell you about me for 10 hours?
Yep. Hear about me. Well, that sparked an interesting thread, so thank you very much, Kevin Caswell-Jones. Now, we've had another message from Libby Edwards, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Now, she says, much like Lucas's mum, Mrs. Kirkby, I also listen to the Pottervision podcast in the bath. So that is at least 2 of you. We want to know how many of you are listening to this submerged in the nude. Let us know.
You can be the bath pals of the pod.
Yeah, you can set off a splinter group, get a WhatsApp thing going. We want to know, actually, because we've got people who listen to it on the way to work, people who listen to it when they're relaxing in bed, in the bath. We want to find out. Let us know how you listen to the podcast.
Are you a sudsy chum?
Yeah.
Or do you eat it while eating an evening meal with your family?
Yeah.
Both earpods in.
Yeah. AirPods in, long hair, woolly hat. Yeah, Mum, that's good.
Or do you eat it do you listen to it while eating your roast? We want to find out.
Let us know, please. Now, the next message we've had is from Amy, who submitted a contact form on our website. She says, "Hi guys, I've loved listening to your podcast every week. It's been keeping me entertained on my drive to work." So there's another commuting one. Now, if they had school trips at Hogwarts, where do you think they would go?
There's
There's not that many places to visit, because I was thinking of like a city you'd visit, but then the only wizarding place anywhere like that is probably Diagon Alley, which they all go to anyway.
Yes, but you've got to imagine that every city in the world has got its own wizarding district. It's like a Chinatown or a gay district, isn't it?
Yeah,
like
that's true.
A little wizard area.
I would love to see...
In Edinburgh, it's the entirety of Edinburgh.
It's the entirety of Edinburgh, yeah.
With all them Harry Potter shops.
Yeah. Where would the wizarding area of Manchester be, do you reckon?
I reckon...
Gorton. Everyone wears hoods, violet top hats.
And coats, maybe?
Maybe. Yeah, there's a lot of buildings being built up there. I think there's got to be a couple of wizarding things going on.
Maybe, I don't know, I reckon there's like a little wizard area of Birmingham.
Yeah, 100%. That Spaghetti Junction has not been made by Muggles.
It's in the centre of Spaghetti Junction. You've got to roll out your car.
Yeah, you roll out the car.
To get in.
Tap the road 3 times on the left, twice on the right, you get in. Yeah, and I was thinking, there's definitely going to be a boring school trip to the Ministry of Magic. Showing kids around, hey, this is what they do at the Ministry of Magic. Because I remember when I was in year 12 in sixth form, we all went to Cardiff for a school trip, and we had to visit the Welsh Assembly building. And what I loved about it was in the Assembly building, everybody has a screen. And I sat down and put my headphones in, going, oh, it's a screen, but you could turn it on to the TV. Yeah. And while they were talking, I just watched Only Fools and Horses that was on BBC Two in the afternoon.
You're a bad boy, aren't you?
I was a very naughty boy.
What's the...
I go St. Marlene.
Only Fools and Horses?
That was, yeah.
I got scared the other day because
the
Only Fools and Horses dinner experience are being sued by the Only Fools and Horses estate.
That is ridiculous. It's got to be called Only Fools and Courses. That's got to be the name.
I think so, but I think it's just called the Only Fools and Horses dining experience.
That's where they've made the mistake, because they've called it Only Fools and Horses. Why haven't they learnt from Aldi and Lidl? You've just got to change the name a bit, make a pun. Only Fools and Courses, the dinner experience.
Yeah, but that got me thinking, what if the Chuckle Brothers start coming after us?
Well, we've got half a chance of that happening, with one being remaining. But
R.I.P.
But we only take half of their name and all of their theme tune. It's not that much, really.
But their entire dynamic we've stolen.
Yeah, we have. You are definitely Paul.
Yeah.
I am 100% Barry. And I don't know. Friend of the show, Louis Shaw, is no slacking. No slacking.
There's an episode that stays with me of Chucklevision forever, where they were going to go on holiday to Spain. Have you seen this? And they didn't know what the toilets were going to be like abroad, so they took one with them.
I love that.
And they were going to plumb it in when they got there.
That is brilliant. I used to love Chucklevision as a kid. That was like one of my top shows that I used to just love to watch. And I used to see them live. I used to go and watch the live shows every year.
Oh, I'm jealous.
When they came to Llandudno, and it was great. And the connection with this is Libby, who we just spoke to or talked to, she works with Stuart, and he used to do illusions in their stage show. And that's a connection with that.
Wow, that's fantastic. But in answer to the question, I think, just like the Chuckle Brothers, the Hogwarts students would like to go to sunny Spain.
Yes, why not? A lovely
Imagine
weekend
that.
in
They'd
Spain.
have to change the Spanish uniform because it's so hot, wouldn't they?
Yeah, 100%. They couldn't wear robes in Spain. They have to wear something else. I was always thinking
Matador's
as well,
cape.
I was thinking they could go like, take the naughty kids to Azkaban. You know when like there are kids that are naughty.
Take them to prison.
And have you not seen these videos where they take naughty kids to prison and they interview the prisoners, and the prisoners are like, yeah, it's rubbish. I thought I was really cool, and then I got into prison and it's awful. And then the kids are like, I better not misbehave if that's going to be me, to like scare them out of being naughty. We've never seen those kind of videos.
But the thing is, Mr. Kirkby,
Yeah.
naughtiness is encouraged at Hogwarts.
Yeah, that's true. They'd be taking them round Azkaban and say, hey, keep going, this could be you. You could be living here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, thank you very much, Amy, for your question. Now, the next thing, the next person we've had a message from is Simon Heath from Facebook,
Hey!
who apparently has bought an iPad just so he can leave us a review.
Go on, Simon. Can't wait to read it.
Yeah, please use
Could you
your
find
iPad. Not yet. We're hoping it'll be submitted. But can we just say, Simon, please use your iPad for other things. Get your money's worth. Download Angry Birds or a Sudoku app. Right, it says, hello, Lucas and Tom. Now, he's asked, if you had the opportunity to make a spin-off show with any of the characters or locations in Harry Potter, what would you choose?
I tell you what I'd want.
Yeah.
I'd want like a Hagrid film. Mm-hmm. A complete Hagrid film.
Yeah.
Because he's involved with, like, maybe like a prequel or just during the times of Harry's time at Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Hagrid knows some proper dodgy people.
100%.
He's always hanging out in pubs.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
He's just like getting to know dirty. Like he's like, Harry, what are you doing down this dirty alley? He's like, what are you doing down here?
Yeah, exactly.
You know that in the
second one.
What's that alley called?
Nocturne Alley.
He's
like, what are you doing here, Harry? And it's like, Hagrid, what are you doing here? Definitely not been with a prostitute. Why is it there?
Yeah, and also like how he came to tame all these wild beasts. That'd be fantastic.
Because I think him in high school is fascinating. Because there's all that stuff with Aragog, wasn't there, in the Chamber of Secrets?
Yeah, yeah.
And I reckon him, like Harry, would have been up to all sorts of rubbish while he was at school.
Yeah.
And just being a giant in school, I think that'd been interesting.
That'd been mental. Yeah.
Mental. The other thing, I was thinking of something like, I don't know, two teachers solving mysteries in the school. I don't know, like Trelawney and Hooch. There's a show called Turner and Hooch, isn't there? She's like a Trelawney and Hooch, and they like just do mysteries together. Like, did you ever watch Rosemary in Time?
No.
It was about two retired police women, and it's Felicity Kendall and what's her name? Who's Miss Trunchbull? Pan Ferris.
Oh, really?
They're retired detectives, but now they're gardeners. And everywhere they go to do a gardening job, they find a body. And they solve it, like, part-time.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really weird. It used to be on ITV at, like, 4pm, but I used to love watching it. But I imagine that with the teachers, like, they just, like, happen across these murders.
Snape prequel would be good, wouldn't it?
I'd love a Snape prequel. We need it, actually. Come on, the Wizarding World, Warner Brothers.
That's what we want.
That's what we want. And look, we're building a following. Soon we're going to be a force to be reckoned with. So make it now before we have power. All right.
Before we make Hagrid Vision.
Yes, Hagrid Vision, we need it. All right, we've got two more messages. We've got one from Elena Trousdale, who's messaged us on Instagram. And she was referring to the conversation we had last week about who has Harry as their favourite character. Now, she says, the only person I know whose favourite character is Harry is my mate Lucy. She always likes protagonists, even if they're boring, even if they're not interesting. Now, who do you think would make a more interesting protagonist in the Wizarding world? And what would either of you do differently if you were in Harry's shoes as the protagonist? So it's kind of like what we've been talking about. I would quite like to see Neville as the main character if the focus was on Neville. And it'd be a bit more of a comedy of the blundering idiot who somehow saves the day.
I couldn't read that. I'd throw that book away, going, this guy's irritating me too much.
Yeah.
Like, is there any programs, or like, you know, when you're watching a film and it's just too awkward, and you're like, I can't watch this.
Yeah.
Turning your head away.
Because they keep making mistakes.
Yeah.
It's like, what's it called? Test of the D'Urbervilles. Have you ever read that?
No.
Thomas Hardy. It's about this woman who you're on her side, but she keeps making these terrible decisions about men. She always picks the idiot and does the wrong thing.
Well, I was watching the personal history of David Copperfield.
Oh yeah.
And he keeps making mistakes and making the wrong decisions. And the old time during the film, you're like, no!
I was David Copperfield in a play once.
Liar.
I was
Liar.
young David Copperfield, not the magician, the Charles Dickens character. And for the first half of the play, I never left the stage because I was young David Copperfield. And I must have been about 12. But we did it outside in like castles around Wales and stuff. And some people thought it was the magician when it was advertised.
Oh, really?
So people would come, and it's David Copperfield, the Charles Dickens story, and someone would be buying tickets going, hey, like Americans, going, hey, is he going to make the castle disappear? Is he going to make the castle disappear? And one guy bought tickets, and his wife was sat in the car, and the woman at the ticket office goes, is your wife not coming with you? He goes, no, she doesn't like him.
You.
So that's me. No, so he sat through this whole Dickens play, not enjoying it because he thought it was the magician, and then his wife was in the car, probably reading Dickens, going, "Oh, I wish I was
His
watching
wife
a
in
play."
the car going, I won't watch anything with Lukas Kirkby.
I refuse.
Who'd make a better protagonist? You see, I would love if it was called Draco Malfoy. Do you know the series?
The Philosopher's Stone, yeah.
Or whatever. Draco Malfoy and, I don't know.
And the nasty git who keeps getting him in trouble.
Yeah.
That'd be good. I misunderstood the question at first, and I thought it was like, who do you think would be good in Harry Potter? And I was thinking somebody like Danny Dyer being the main character.
Well, I'd hate that.
Yeah, I know you would.
Keep Danny Dyer out of film and TV.
Oh, I will, darling.
Yeah.
And what would we do differently if we were in Harry Potter's shoes? I wouldn't do as much, get into much trouble as him.
Would you not?
Yeah, I'd be a bit too scared to go creeping around at night, getting into trouble.
I gotta socialise a bit more with different people.
Yeah.
You know, it's not all about Ron.
Yeah, come on. Spread your wings a bit. You used to be more of a social butterfly.
Or maybe, I'd fly about more. You know.
Yeah. Live the dream. Well, thank you
Use
very
my
much.
invisibility cloak more. Why is he never making the most of that?
Why is he not tickling people?
He could be using that. They never show him using that cloak. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
In the films, at least. In the Muggle world,
No.
I'd just be walking round because it's not a wizard crime.
Yeah.
To rob Muggles.
No.
Is it?
Yeah, and why is he not winding, like, the Dursleys up with that? Or, like, stealing, I don't know, an extra cake or something from the fridge?
Exactly.
Yeah. Come on, Harry.
That's what I'd do. I'd be a thief. I'd be a no-good, rotten thief.
Oh, I shudder to think of the prospect. Now, the final message this week is from Soph Hunter 2000 from Instagram again. And she says, which two teachers do you think are most likely to have had a secret but passionate fling?
What do you think?
Well, I think it was hinted at Christmas. I think Hagrid and McGonagall might have some kind of sordid history.
I don't think so. That guy...
No. But I think Madam Hooch, not Madam Hooch, Professor Sprouts.
I think more likely Madam Hooch and McGonagall.
Yeah, I reckon so. Yeah, do you reckon they've had something going on?
Because I'm guessing they have to share a bedroom.
Yes, 100%. There's definitely a teacher's common room that they all just go
You're
to.
sharing a bedroom with a PE teacher for 12 months of the year. Something's going to happen.
These things happen. I reckon Professor Sprouts probably had a few drunken kisses with somebody. But I'm just purely basing that off the actual person, Miriam Margolyes, because she just seems a bit mad.
You think so?
Yeah, she's a bit of a free spirit, isn't she?
Sprout pursuing Dumbledore.
100%. Because she could give him, like, aphrodisiac.
Sprout and Hagrid.
Oh, yeah.
That
Both
is
like
the
the
combo.
outdoors. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Romping in a pumpkin patch.
100% in a pumpkin patch. Yeah. When we see that scene where you hear a noise and all the crows fly off from the pumpkin, that's just a massive thrust from Hagrid.
Disgusting.
Absolutely disgusting. So thank you everyone so much for all your messages and questions for this week's Hedwig's Droppings. Please send us in more. You can go on all our social media or catch us at pottervisioncomedy@gmail.com.
Pottervision.
This has been the Pottervision podcast. Thank you very much for listening. Please like, subscribe, share, tell everybody you know. We're seeing it grow and it's been lovely to see, but we want to keep that momentum going. So this was Chapter 11, Quidditch. Please join us next week for Chapter 12, The Mirror of Erised.
This has been the Pottervision podcast. Music was by Jack Evans. I've been Tom Lawrenson.
And I've been Lukas Kirkby. Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.